This is the After Party, live with Kim McAllister. Pick a couch, grab a drink, and settle into the conversation.
Starting early, and I am without my little music. Wait, here it comes, and there it is. Hi, everybody. Oh, and look, you can see the little overhang on my thing. I'll get it all situated. That's annoying, isn't it? I'll fix it. See what happens when I start early? I am not prepared. Hi, everybody. It is the After Party Live on a Trivia Thursday. Before we get into it, how great is Bill Kelly? So fun, so engaging, so smart, and so thoughtful. He is a dream to work with, and I am so fortunate that we get him for the next 10 days. Really excited. I really enjoyed today's Mark Thompson show. I hope you did too, and I know tomorrow is going to be really fun as well. We're going to jump into some lighter stories, some science-y stories, some goofy stories, and Trivia Thursday. And I know that recently I have been asked to bump trivia up toward the top of the show instead of the end of the show, because people are interested in getting that done first instead of last because of your time constraints. So I will do that. But before we get into it, I did want to do the lead story that I have for today, because I know some people see the thumbnail and they want to see that story first. So let's do that. The first story that I have for you today is, well, first of all, look at this picture. That's Kathy. Kathy O sends in this picture. Remember, I asked people to go check out the Beaver supermoon and send in their photo? Well, here's Kathy's. How pretty is that? I think she took this picture in Santa Clara, right through the trees. That is a beautiful picture. Not only is the Beaver supermoon gorgeous, but the composition of the photo is awesome. Thank you, Kathy, for sending it in. I think that's the only moon photo that I got, but I really love it. I think it's just gorgeous. So thank you for sharing that. That's Kathy's picture. And then I wanted to talk to you about not such a pretty picture. Smoking. Now, people have said anti-smoking laws and taxing smokers and trying to stamp out smoking as like the nanny government. You know, if I want to smoke, I'm going to smoke. What we do know is that the whole point of government is to help protect people. Even, I would argue, if that is protecting us from ourselves. Now, you could disagree with that, of course, but in the Maldives, that's how you say it, right? Maldives. I say Maldives. They are doing something which is pretty drastic. They are permanently banning smoking for anyone born after the year 2006. Born after 2006, and you're caught smoking in the Maldives? Busted. It is the first country in the world to ban tobacco use for an entire generation of people. The new law took effect on Saturday, and under this rule, anyone born on or after January 1st of 2007 is permanently banned from buying, using, or even being sold cigarettes or any other tobacco product in that country. This according to the Maldives Health Ministry. So anyone who's 18 or younger as of today will never be able to legally smoke in that country. The health ministry says the law is meant to protect public health and promote a tobacco-free generation. Do you think it will work better than education? We've seen smoking numbers in America go down. I talked to my daughter, and she has the thought, and maybe it's because I put the thought there, that smoking is yucky and gross and not something you would ever want to do. And, you know, smart people don't ever pick it up. My saying is, if you never start, you never have to stop. I have my kids repeat that to me over and over and over again. If you never start, you never have to stop. So, and I'm not judging you if you smoke. I mean, you know, but we all know, whether you're a smoker or not, it's not healthy, that we don't want the next generation to pick up cigarettes. Saw a story on vaping, though, and vaping numbers are increasing, and kids are finding it harder to stop, whether they put nicotine or marijuana in the vape. So, what's the right answer? What do you think? I'm going to the chat. Do you think an outright ban, making it illegal for a whole generation of people, is the way to go? Do you agree with more the way that America is doing it with uh, uh, an educational, telling people what the truth is about cigarettes, what it does to your body, more of a learning style approach? This ban in the Maldives applies to both residents and tourists visiting the Maldives. It's a really small nation, including about 1,200 small coral islands within the Indian Ocean. So if you're a retailer now in the Maldives, you have to verify a person's age before you sell them tobacco. And selling to someone who is under the age cutoff could lead to a $50,000 rufiya fine. That's about $3,200 in US dollars. The country already has a full ban on the import, sale, and use of e cigarettes and vaping devices for people of all ages. If you're caught using a vape in the Maldives, you can be fined about $320. That's 5,000 rufiya. So, what do you think? I'm going to the chat. Outright ban? Should we do it here? SJ Lola says banning something outright rarely has the desired effect. It's all about education. One of the good things about homework, says Ren, turned in digitally, no papers saturated with cigarette smoke. Ew, yuck, that would be gross. Jeanette says, when I jogged my neighborhood, I could tell which houses smoked just by jogging by. It's the smell. It's gross. You could totally smell. I could smell it, from, I don't know how far away you're walking down the street. You smell it. It's coming right up. Lady Beatrice says, I can't be around people who smoke. It's a sensitivity, and I work with kids, so ban that sinful habit, she says. Blue Spark says there were announcements at Hardly Strictly that said, remember, smoking tobacco is not allowed in the park. Teacher Lori wants to know if they have government-provided health care there. If so, even more right to ban it since it will bring down costs over time. That's a good point. Wes says, I can't chime in here. I still do smoke and I know how bad it is. I do not, however, smoke in my house, always outside. Wes, we love you whether you smoke or not, but I want you not to smoke, but I'm not your mama. And so I won't judge you or come down on you, but I do want you to be around for a long time. So I hope you'll try to stop. But would a ban, and I think you're actually uniquely qualified to speak on this, would a ban make you stop? You feel, I mean, if I was a smoker, I'm not a smoker, but even not being a smoker, I might be like, who is the government to tell me what I can and can't do to my body, right? The same thing with like banning sugary drinks or what have you. Oh. Mama says my first flight I ever took when I was 5 had smokers on board. I've hated it ever since. It's so true. Remember when you were aboard airplanes and smoking wasn't a problem? They would turn the smoking light on. Remember that? Or in bars and restaurants, you'd be seated right next to people that were smoking. It's awful. Awful. Thank God things are different now. Yeah, that was miserable. If you're not a smoker to have to like suck in that air. Ugh. When I had my kids, and still will do this, but when they were in strollers, if I was walking and I could smell that cigarette smoke was coming up, I would cross the street to avoid it. So for a lot of people, a ban might be a good thing, but the way that it would encroach on personal rights, I don't know. Mixed feelings. Mixed feelings about whether it's the government's job to outright ban things. Jeanette says, I don't smoke anymore. Quit in 1998. I just steam now. Ms. Organic says a pack of cigarettes in California is about $17 after taxes these days. Can you imagine a pack a day smoker's bill? Really? A pack of cigarettes is $17? That's a lot of money. That's a very expensive habit. Ron says in the 70s, my pops smoked Vantage cigarettes, made me so sick in the back seat. I used to break my dad's cigarettes in half. I wrote death sticks on them. He ended up quitting after a while. I was relentless. Teacher Lori says, my friend who is an alcoholic crack meth addict, oh, that's got to be a rough life, has harder time stopping nicotine than any drugs or alcohol. It's why the ban is not on the people already addicted. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Sandy says, I smoked 2 years in my late 30s, picked up the habit from my boyfriend at the time who was a smoker. It was a bad time to take up smoking as the world wasn't friendly to smokers anymore, so I quit after only 2 years. Ren says a smoker could quit and have a lot of money for travel. Heather never had any issues with quitting. Good. Like it. Lady Beatrice says education hasn't helped people not to smoke. I don't know. We've seen the rates go down for smokers in at least California, if not the rest of the country. It's different though when you go to Europe. There's a lot of people still smoking. So I don't know. But an outright ban in the Maldives, I think they have to see how it works and watch it. If it works there, maybe something like that could work here. Harry says there are many different ways to ingest nicotine. Smoking should be banned. Ricky says, almost like I never ate anything I didn't kill. He says, I never smoked anything I didn't grow since 1972. I love that. Phineas, with another great perspective, I was a respiratory therapist and saw firsthand how smoking affects people directly. And my grandpa died of lung cancer and whittled down from 90 pounds from being a robust 250-pound jolly man. Yeah, that's sad. Sandy says, my issue with the ban in the Maldives is that it applies to only some adults, but not others. And that isn't fair. I would argue, Sandy, they have to put an age, if they're going to do it, they have to put the level or the age limit somewhere. So at this point, it's everyone 18 and younger. So I get what you're saying, but if they're going to take the step, they have to set the limit and the line. So no matter what they do, someone's going to think it's unfair, right? Yeah. It was a problem. It was horrible. I was a waitress server through college. Sometimes I had to fight hard not to get in the smoking section. Where I still see the problem is in casinos. Have you ever been in a casino and it's like you walk in there and you just feel like you're bathing in cigarette smoke? It's not even worth it. Really. Yeah. Your hair smells, your clothes smell. By the time you get out of that place, yikes. Ren says, my mother's college roommate visited us when I was a little kid. She worked for the American Lung Association and traveled with blackened smoker lungs. So it was a very clear lesson for me. Yikes. Yeah, Judy can't walk into a casino. Casino carpets. Yuck. I remember once I had an infant and we had to go to a wedding that was taking place in it was a chapel in Las Vegas. My uncle was getting married. And we were staying in this hotel casino, and we had a plan that my husband was going to register at the front desk for the room, and then he was going to go to the elevators and text me, and I was going to run through the lobby, pushing the stroller so we could get in the elevator as quickly as possible, so as not to have the kid marinating in smoke waiting to register for the room. Yeah, I know. I'm silly. I was worried about it. So, all right. Well, another story you think or trivia? Let's go for trivia. Let's do it. It is time for Trivia Thursday after party style. Yay! Woo! Fanfare. Here we go. Oh, you know what? I have the fanfare now. Ready? Style. Okay, I am going into the chat. Here I am. And I'm really loving trivia today. This is nerdy trivia. I hope you like it as much as I do. And the first question might be a softball. Go on ahead, Heather. Get your typing fingers ready. A buckyball is a stable and spherical molecule made up of what element? A buckyball is a stable and spherical molecule made up of what element? Looks like you guys are getting it right off the bat. Here we go. The answer is indeed carbon. Nullifidian has it. Yeah, he does. And so does Donna. I think Nullifidian's a he, right? Donna has it. And good point, Eileen. Have we learned nothing from Prohibition, right? The banning doesn't work. Teacher Lori has it. And Jim has it. And Gordon has it as well. And so does Phineas and the Lady Beatrice. Heather, in a shocking display, has forgotten this one. Trevor, carbon, yes, that is correct. $5 from Harry Magnan, not for any influence, of course. You'll go right to the top of the list, Harry Magnan. What else? No, buckyball. Sounds like it. It's not a speedball. Ren, come on now. Yeah. Okay. Next question. And here we go. Ready, Freddie? The question is obelus, O-B-E-L-U-S, obelus, is the name for a mathematical symbol. Which arithmetic operation is the sign used for? I won't describe it because that'll give it away. Obelus is the name for the mathematical symbol, a mathematical symbol. Which arithmetic operation is it used for? Obelus. Donna has it. Division is the correct answer. Yeah, the description is that it is the horizontal line with a dot above and a dot below. It is the symbol for division. Donna has it. So does Uncle Jim. Sandy's like, I don't know. Nerd trivia is fun. You got this. And the thing about it, Sandy, is that the questions are all over the map. So some are math, some are not. It's good. Yeah, good job, Donna. We love it. Okay, next question. Here we go. Nikola Tesla had an idea that you could harness power in the air because water drops get transferred to dust particles and create hydroelectricity, which is kind of a clingy electricity that can make your hair stand on end. Hydroelectricity. So, what kind of electricity is it that can make your hair stand on end? I see the answers popping in. The answer is static electricity. Cameo, first to the punch here on my computer. The Lady Beatrice was static. Wes has it. Gordon has it. John, Rev P has it. Nice. Heather has it. Chris has it. SJ has it. So does John Slade. Tammy, Sandy has it. Said you weren't going to do good, and there you are. Boom. Trevor has it. You say do good or do well. Jim has it. Donna has it. So does Finn and Ren. Teacher and Harry. Nullifidian. Luis. Nice. Okay. Next question. On Earth, the recipe for them is water and light. But if you were on another planet with a different atmosphere, what colorful post-precipitation meteorological phenomenon would you be less likely to see? On Earth, the recipe for them is water and light. But if you were on another planet with a different atmosphere, what colorful post-precipitation meteorological phenomenon would you be less likely to see? And the answer is, let's see who got it first. Donna. A rainbow. That is correct. Rev P says it. Ren has it. Trevor has it. SJ, Chris has got it. Red wine. I like the answer. Lady Beatrice has it. Luis, Jim, Deidre, Teacher Lori, John Slade, Gordon, John. A rainbow. That's correct. correct. Uncle Jim has it, as well as Heather and Sandy and Tammy and Kat, Katie, Ammonia Bow. Yeah. Nice. Good job, everybody. Next question. No is the negative sounding chemical symbol that represents an element first produced in the US in 1958. The element is named after what man? No, NO, is the negative sounding chemical symbol that represents an element first produced in the United States in 1958. The element is named after what man? Mhm. What's the man's name it's named after? Nobelium. Named after what man? S.J. Lola has it. It is Nobel, Alfred Nobel to be exact. Nobel is correct. S.J. Lola, Teacher Lori, Uncle Jim, John Watson. Chris has Nobel. Cameo has it. So does Ren. So does Phineas. Dr. No. Trevor has it. Luis. Rev P. Nobel indeed. The Lady Beatrice has it. Gordon has it. Dr. No. Nice. Next question. In the and I did not know this. I've never even heard of this. And I know the order of operations, but I just didn't know that we had a thing for it, an acronym for it. In the commonly taught order of operations, the acronym PEMDAS, PEMDAS, the E stands for what powerful type of numbers? In the commonly taught order of operations acronym, PEMDAS, the E stands for what powerful type of numbers? Mm-hmm. Yeah, PEMDAS, that's exactly how it looks. What does the E stand for? Mm-hmm. The E stands for exponents. Exponential works. Chris has it. Well done, Chris. Ren also has it. Exponents. Exponential, I'll take it. Phineas. Deidre, yep. Uncle Jim, yes. Teacher Lori, yes. Who probably teaches this. She's like, how do you not know PEMDAS? Deidre has it. Wes has it. Exponents, that's correct. Has it. Harry has it. Rev P has it. Trevor, Luis, SJ, Mama. Me neither, Heather. PEMDAS. I gotta learn it. I have to teach it to my kids too. He had intended to call it Freaks, but his friend changed the name without consulting him. Finnish-American software engineer Linus Torvalds is best known as the creator of what piece of open source software? Shall I read it again? He had intended to call it Freaks, 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 but his friend changed the name without consulting him. Finnish-American software engineer Linus Torvalds is best known as the creator of what piece of open source software? And the answer is, see if you guys got it. Chris has it. It's Linux. Mm-hmm. Uncle Jim also has it. So does John Watson and Harry and SJ and Ren and Luis and Wes and Teacher Lori and Heather has it. So does the Lady Beatrice and Rev P. Yes. Oh, you said Linus, but it's Linux. Yeah, Linux. That is correct. All right. Abbreviated lowercase pn. What small unit of measurement used for adding spices or sugar to your cooking is about the equivalent of 1/16 of a teaspoon? Abbreviated PN. What small unit of measurement used for adding spices or sugar to your cooking is roughly equivalent to 1/16 of a teaspoon? Oh, look, you guys got it. You didn't need me to read it twice. John Watson says it's a pinch. That's correct. So does Cameo. So does Trevor. and Deidre and Tammy. Donna has it. So does Rev P. Mama has it. Mama better have it, right? Mama's a special chef. Ren has it as well as Sandy. And by special, I mean her salsa is really good. You can see the recipe in the community tab. SJ has it. Nancy has it. Lady Beatrice, Chris, Harry, Heather, John, teacher. Well done. Rhonda has it. Hey, Rhonda. Nice. Okay, next question. In nerd trivia, what do you call the longest side of a right triangle? The side that is opposite the right angle. What do you call the longest side of a right triangle? That's the side opposite the right angle. Look at my smarties. Look at them all lined up. Smart people all in a row. Chris Holm has it. Cameo has it. Hypotenuse is the answer. Uncle Jim has it. So does Heather. And Blue Spark. And John Watson. And Finn. And Donna. And Ren. Look at you guys go. Trevor has it. So does Deidre. That's an interesting typo. I know what you meant to say. Oh, hypotenuse. Teacher has it. So does teacher better have it, right? Sandy has it. So does Nullifidian and Harry and the Lady Beatrice and SJ, Nancy. The other side, says Rev P. Nice. Next question. The Mobius strip was the inspiration for a universal symbol first created in 1970 and composed of 3 arrows in a roughly triangular shape. The symbol now stands for what action? It's based on the Mobius strip, the inspiration for a universal symbol first created in 1970, composed of 3 arrows in a roughly triangular shape. This symbol now stands for what action? It is the recycling symbol. That is correct. Based on the Mobius strip. SJ Lola, first to the punch, followed by Chris, Uncle Jim. The Matrix, says Phineas. Recycle, says Trevor. That is correct. Sandy has it. Sandy thought she wasn't going to get any right, and I've seen your name more than once with the correct answer. Mama says recycle. So does Lady Beatrice and Heather and the Circle of Life. You could call recycling the Circle of Life. Teacher Lori has it. So does Zero Sum. Yeah. Well done. Okay. The next question. Maybe this is a little racy, kind of. Which natural number is not just a favorite on the internet, but special because it's square, 4761, and cube, 328,509, use every decimal digit from 0 to 9 exactly once? What natural number is not just a favorite on the internet, but special because it's square, 4761, and its cube, 328,509, use every decimal digit from 0 to 9 exactly once? You guys already know this one. How are you all so intelligent? What happened? Who put smart powder in your cereal? Nullifidian says 69. Nullifidian's right. So is John Watson. So is Deidre. So is John Slade. So is SJ Lola. Oof, math. Chris has it. Uncle Jim has it. Wouldn't be an answer without 11,780. Phineas has it. So does... I gave it away with Racy. Okay, my bad. That wasn't even part of the question. Oh, yes, Dan, thank you for the reminder. Please hit the thumbs up button if you haven't already. Thank you. If it was 67, it would be hilarious. It's 69. Waxy buildup in the human ear is actually a form of what type of excretion? Waxy buildup in the human ear is actually what type of excretion? Dead brain cells. It's probably the best answer of the day. That is incorrect, but hilarious. Mucus. No, no, no. Yeah, thank you. You're awesome. The excretion of love. Sebaceous sebum. The answer is, Donna has it, it's sweat. It is an excretion of sweat. Yeah, it's a wet skin excretion of sweat. Did you know that? The waxy buildup is sweat built up? Gross, says Heather. I concur. John Slade also says sweat. Yeah. Sounds gross, says Liz. Tis. Phineas says sweat. That's correct. Judy's trying to eat cake here. Come on now. Smegma, says John Watson. Isn't sweat involved in smegma? Or is that a specific body part excretion? Teacher Lori says sweat. That's correct. It is sweat. Nullifidian has it as well. Nancy is disgusted by me, as is Tammy. I'll give you a my bad. I'm sorry. Next question. I think I'm going to throw this down as an easy one, all right? For people that are eating cake, get ready for this. What carnivorous plant, formerly discovered in 1759, I say formally discovered in 1759, is only native to the wetlands of North and South Carolina? What carnivorous plant, formerly discovered in 1759, is only native to the wetlands of North and South Carolina? That would be, yeah, you guys got it fast. That is the flytrap. Oop, Deidre has it first, I think. The Venus flytrap. Correct. Cameo has it as well. Trevor, Tammy, Heather, Ren has it. Uncle Jim, Luis has got it. Nancy's got it. So does Chris, the Lady Beatrice, Donna, SJ Lola, Rev P. Teacher Lori has it as well. Nullifidian. Nice. Ooh, Mama with a good little tidbit. She's read the more sticky your earwax is, the stinkier your sweat is. Ooh. Gross Ola. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Okay. 8 friends from a Chicago area high school used a Kickstarter in 2011 to create what popular party game whose black and white cards feature politically incorrect fill-in-the-blanks? 8 friends from a Chicago area high school used a Kickstarter in 2011 to create what popular party game whose black and white cards feature politically incorrect fill-in-the-blanks? The game is called... Yes, you got it. Deidre says Cards Against Humanity. Deidre is right. Ren has it as well. So does SJ, Heather, Trevor, John Watson. Mama has it. Lady Beatrice has it. Harry has it. Cameo has it. Cards Against Humanity, the name of the game. Winning for their synthesis of new radioactive elements, the second woman to win the Nobel Prize for Chemistry was the daughter of 2 other Nobel Prize winners. What is the family's surname? Winning for their synthesis of new radioactive elements, the second woman to win the Nobel Prize for Chemistry was the daughter of 2 other Nobel Prize winners. What is the family's surname? Yep, you got it. The answer is Curie. John Watson has it. So does SJ Lola. Uncle Jim. Trevor has it. Lady Beatrice, Luis, Nullifidian, Mama, Donna, Nancy, Harry, Eileen, Curie. That's the family's surname. You got it. Phineas has it. Steph Curry. Nice. I don't know. Do you want another category? These kind of questions are all over the map, so I didn't think we needed another category. Titan is one of the few moons in the solar system known to have an atmosphere of any substance. Around which second largest planet does Titan revolve? Titan is one of the few moons in the solar system known to have an atmosphere of any substance. Around which second largest planet does Titan revolve? Mm-hmm. Bye, Zero Sum. We love you. Lovely sunflowers. Thank you. You bring me joy. Uncle Jim says Saturn. Yes, Uncle Jim is correct. John Watson has it, as well as Jeanette and Trevor and SJ and Sandy. Donna is on it, so is Heather. Blue Spark, thank you for the answer. Saturn says Cameo. Luis, Nullifidian, Ren, Rev P has it. John Slade has it. Phineas has it. Nice. Okay, next question. Do a couple more and then we'll get back into the stories. Can I have a large container of coffee? Thank you. Is a mnemonic for remembering the first 10 digits of what mathematical concept? Can I have a large container of coffee? Thank you. Is a mnemonic device for remembering the first 10 digits of what mathematical concept? I did not know this. See if you guys did. Oh, you did. Look at you. I love you guys. Uncle Jim says it's pi. Yeah, that's right. SJ Lola has it. I know it's a typo. Trevor has it. Heather has it. Deidre, SJ, Nancy, my little smarties, the Lady Beatrice. Louise has it. Caffeination. Yes. Donna, it's pie. Poi, says Phineas. All right. Oh, maybe one more question. What do you think? In mathematical physics, Minkowski space is a four-dimensional space consisting of three-dimensional Euclidean space and which other quantity? I know this question. You'll get it, though. I know you will. In mathematical physics, Minkowski space is a four-dimensional space consisting of three-dimensional Euclidean space and which other quantity? And the answer is indeed time, says Uncle Jim and John Watson and Ren and Rev P and Nullifidian. Heather has it. Chris has it. Luis has it. Well, if it's a mnemonic device, I think you take the first letter of each word, right? And so you know. Yeah. I don't know. Lady Beatrice says time. Time and time. Trevor and Teacher Lori both have time. Should we go for something a little easier? Let's do this. If an overzealous beer enthusiast asked you to pour them 10 pints of lager, how much lager would they be receiving in quarts? If an overzealous beer enthusiast asked you to pour them 10 pints of lager, how much lager would they be receiving in quarts? Sandy says 5. Sandy is correct. 5 quarts. Trevor has it too. So does Heather. Say it with conviction. No question mark there. 5 indeed. Blue Spark says 5. Uncle Jim says 5. So does Judy and Donna. Nancy. Nice. Not enough, says Harry. 5. Teacher Lori says 5. 5 quarts, says Lady Beatrice. 4 because I drink one, says John Watson. Yeah, well, I'll take both answers because I'll always take 11,780. Mind your pints and quarts. All right. Thus ends Trivia Thursday. You guys are so much fun. I really, really love it. And spending this time with you every Thursday brings me great joy. That is Trivia Thursday after party style. Well done, my friends. Well done. You constantly amaze me. I mean, most of the questions I wouldn't get right, and you guys just whip right through them. Let's go to animals. We had yesterday the story of the venomous snake found in a swimming pool in Australia. As if you didn't have to now look in your pool to make sure there wasn't a venomous snake slithering around the surface. Now you got to watch when you reach into your laundry basket. Think about this the next time you're folding laundry. This venomous snake found hiding in a laundry basket. In where? Australia. An Australian snake wrangler responding to a home in Queensland to capture a laundry basket intruder that turned out to be one of the world's most venomous snake. Summer Woolston, a snake catcher and social media manager for Sunshine Coast Snake Catchers, was called out to a cashmere home where a snake wandered in through an open door. First mistake. The snake apparently wanted to do some washing, they said, and found its way into a laundry basket inside the home. Summer said, "What are you doing in the laundry basket, sir?" in a video of the encounter. She used a hook and protective glove to lift the snake out of the laundry and into a bag for safe transport. It was relocated to a beautiful habitat for it to explore. It doesn't say what type of snake this is, only that it's one of the world's most venomous snakes. But if I had to guess, I think that's the brown snake. Looks like that to me. It looks very similar to the one that was seen in the pool, which was not a brown snake, but could be confused with the brown snake. How many snake stories have we done on the after party that now I can look at a picture and go, oh, that's the venomous brown snake? But of course, I think it's an interesting story. Maybe it won't surprise you. Part of the thing that makes us human is our ability to use reason, right? To weigh different options when presented with a question, when presented with a decision to be made, to weigh the different parts of things that we're considering, and then use that information to come to a decision or a choice. Well, it turns out that we are not the only species or sect of mammalia that does this. Chimpanzees also weigh evidence to make a smart choice. It's a process resembling human rationality. When they are presented with multiple clues about the location of food, chimps revised their choices based on stronger clues, indicating that they were comparing the worthy pieces of information. So, according to this story in the Smithsonian Magazine, which I love, they said, whether you realize it or not, we spend a large chunk of our day weighing conflicting evidence. It's a hallmark of human rationality that shows up in many of our decisions. But the new research shows that we're not alone in this ability, that chimpanzees do it too. Belief revision is the process by which humans evaluate an overall set of evidence and make their best choice, discarding weaker evidence in favor of stronger evidence. Like if you were on a jury, right? Weighing different parts of the testimony and the case. It's a form of metacognition, or thinking about thinking, that other species don't outwardly appear to perform. But researchers at a chimp sanctuary in Uganda recently showed that when presented with conflicting evidence, chimpanzees weighed the information, what it seemed to them, and made decisions by belief revision. They published the findings on a study they did there in the October 30th rendition of the journal Science. And they indicate that chimps make informed decisions by thinking about their own thoughts. A psychologist at UC Berkeley says rationality has been linked to this ability to think about the evidence and revise your beliefs in light of evidence. That's the really big picture perspective of this study. To do it, the researchers took the chimps through a series of 5 experiments centered on food hidden in one of several boxes. The chimps were given an initial clue about the location of the snack, and then they would pick a box. The researchers would then give the chimps another clue, a stronger one, like a direct view of the food, or a weaker one, like the sound of food rolling around in the box. When allowed to update their box choice, the chimps only changed their mind when the second clue was stronger than the initial information. And they said the chimps knocked it out of the park. It's obvious that this was very, very easy for them. Through these experiments, the researchers concluded the chimps were grading different kinds of evidence based on how reliable they were, from seeing the food being the strongest clue, hearing the food being shaken around in a box, and lastly, seeing only traces of food. In one of these experiments, the chimps were shown that initial evidence had been faked. The appearance of an apple behind a glass panel was a picture, or the sound of the food rolling around was really a rock. And that's when the animals switched their choice to the other box. That, they said, was the most surprising result. It shows the chimps were able to consider new information that weakened what they previously knew, and they made their choices accordingly. It's important because the study is the first time research has demonstrated that not only will chimps weigh evidence to form their beliefs about the world, but they will then modify those beliefs based on the strength of that evidence. And that, they say, is pretty amazing. They're smarties. They get it. You may wonder, if you live over in New England, what was this? This spiral ray of light flicking through the sky caught a lot of attention. Turns out, rocket launch. Likely from a rocket launch. This bright spiral-shaped light caught on camera in the night sky across New England, and everybody went on. This is what you do now, right? You hear a noise in your neighborhood. What was that bang? What was that explosion? What's that thing in the night sky? You go online, go onto Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and everyone goes, "What does anybody in this area hear this?" So people went online and they said, what's that thing in the sky? The online speculation was rampant, but it happened over. People saw it from Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Rhode Island on Tuesday night, and it was visible just for a short time before it disappeared. Experts weighed in. They said this light was likely tied to the launch of the Ariane 6 rocket in Kourou, French Guiana at 4:02 p.m. on Tuesday. The rocket, which was carrying the Sentinel-1D Earth observation satellite into orbit, apparently ejected excess fuel from its upper stage, which then froze into reflective ice crystals, and that is what created the spiral-shaped pattern of light before disappearing or dispersing. This Sentinel-1D Earth observation satellite is designed to capture images of the planet during both day and night. I do have video to show you of what people saw. I mean, the picture kind of tells the story there, but I always love a good video. And this is from NBC in Boston. Here it is.
Home in Providence, Rhode Island last night. It left neighbors there wondering how the spiral you see there came to be. Well, some people, they're now suggesting a rocket launch may have something to do with this. The Ariane 6 blasted off from French Guiana early yesterday, and that could be the sun's light reflecting off of the booster, giving it that unusual, unique swirl.
Oh, there you go. That's what we got. Okay. Let's take a look at this story as well. This is a story about dance, 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 dance around, Dance Dance Revolution. It's another world record set. In this particular case, that's a messy picture, isn't it? Quick story. This guy sets a record by playing Dance Dance Revolution for 144 consecutive hours. That's a lot of exercise. I'm guessing by the end, the dancing was haphazard. This is a Hungarian gamer who broke a Guinness World Record by playing Dance Dance Revolution for 144 hours. It's a 34-year-old guy. He goes by the nickname Grasshopper. His first name is Zabolks. And he now has the record for the longest video game marathon, as well as the longest video game marathon on a rhythm game title. He broke the record of 138 hours and 34 seconds set by an American in 2015. She played Just Dance, though. This is Dance Dance Revolution. And he said, Grasshopper, ever since I learned about her achievements, Carrie's achievements in marathon gaming, I often caught myself thinking about how she pulled the all-time longest session almost a decade ago. So he said, I set up stepping stones long ago to chase after the number one spot by building up the required skills in all aspects. Every time I attempted another marathon, I told myself it must feel like a dream achievement to all of us until the final days of each record attempt actually concluded. He has also earned previous records for the longest video game marathon, playing a Naruto game for 28 hours and 11 minutes, the longest video game marathon playing a puzzle game, 32 hours, 32 minutes. And he claimed the records for the longest video game marathon playing a racing game, the longest video game marathon playing a simulation video game, and the longest video game marathon playing a racing simulator game with a 90-hour Gran Turismo 7 marathon. Well, you know what? We all got to do what we got to do, right? I think this story is interesting. There's a new peanut patch, and the whole point of it, it's an experimental patch at this point, but it's being developed to build peanut tolerance in children. Peanut allergies can be deadly. So if we can do something so that someone doesn't have to spend a lifetime worried about what's in their food, this is great. Treatment with an experimental protein peanut patch can help young children safely build tolerance to peanuts, according to this new study. More than 70% of children treated with the Viaskin peanut patch could tolerate at least 3 to 4 peanut kernels without a reaction after 3 years. The information from the study and the trials will be reported Saturday in Orlando at a meeting of the American College of Allergy, Asthma, and Immunology. So not a peer-reviewed research study yet, but the information important enough to be presented at this medical conference. Nearly half of the kids in the study could tolerate even larger amounts of peanuts. It works by delivering this patch small amounts of peanut protein through the skin with the goal of reducing the risk of severe allergic reactions. The results, they said, show ongoing treatment with the peanut patch continues to improve tolerance and remains safe over time. A study done out of the University of Colorado Denver School of Medicine. Peanut allergies affect about 2% of children in the United States. But especially for parents constantly worried about kids affected by peanut allergies, they say this kind of approach may one day offer peace of mind by reducing the risk of having an allergic reaction, including severe reactions. So even if you're allergic, maybe undergoing this type of therapy would reduce the severity of a reaction from accidental exposure. So developments made in the field of allergies. We talked about that rocket in the sky. There's some other satellites bound for Mars. Check these guys out. They're called Blue and Gold. They're NASA's first twin satellites headed to Mars. It's part of the Escapade mission to help predict space weather for future crewed missions to the red planet. So we got to check out our Mars weather before we head to Mars. It's the first dual satellite mission to another planet, and it's scheduled to launch no earlier than Sunday, November 9th from Cape Canaveral, Florida. It's the Escapade, Escape and Plasma Acceleration and Dynamics Explorers. They're a pair of identical spacecraft tasked with traveling to Mars. And once they're in the red planet's orbit, the spacecraft will create three-dimensional maps of our cosmic neighbor's upper atmosphere, the ionosphere, and magnetic fields. It'll be a 12-month-long journey overseen by UC Berkeley, and that's why they named them Blue and Gold. So off they go to Mars, and there it will be. All right, time to end the show for today, but I do want to thank everyone who has contributed to this show, sending in stories and ideas. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for all the ways that you help keep this show rolling. And thank you for the financial contributions as well. Wes tossing in another $5 today. Mary Zane B with her recurring PayPal contribution to this show. Another $2 from Wes. Carol S., thank you guys so much for all the ways that you keep the After Party Live going and let me know that you want the show to continue. For now, please make it the very best rest of your Thursday. I will see you tomorrow on the Mark Thompson Show with Mo filling in. So please meet me there. Until we meet again. Oh, no, it's wrong. I will meet you again at 5 o'clock tonight. I promise not to forget. The Nikki Maduro Show happens at 5 p.m. Cocktails, mocktails, politics, right here on YouTube. So it won't be very long until we meet again. Super excited about that. The Nikki Maduro Show starts at 5 p.m. Bye, everybody.
The After Party Live would like to thank the following contributors and viewers like you.
Thank you, Teacher Lori. Those likes, those subscribes, they mean the world. Not on purpose, anyway. I have 2 alarms set on my phone. I have a series of alarms to make sure. Ooh, zucchini soup. Put the recipe in the community tab, Yvonne. Sounds good. Yes, please do it. Not only is Mama's salsa recipe up there, but Ricky has a recipe up there as well. So check it out. The Lady Beatrice coming in with a $5 contribution. A full smoking ban, she writes. I have neighbors who would hate it. Me? I love the idea. Thank you for the $5 contribution, Lady Beatrice. And thank you, Harry. Not for any influence, of course. Great job on trivia today, everybody. Bye-bye.